Hello everyone, this is April 7th, 2020, and this is Catch Your Breath 60s live session for this week. My name is Barbara Moore, and my blog is called Catch Your Breath 60, and I am here for anybody who has chronic illness, whether it's a lung illness or any kind of illness. Please feel free to join us and to leave comments. I will know that you are here when you write hello in the comments. If you don't write anything in the comments, I won't know that you're here. So please do leave a comment, and I appreciate everybody who does today. Oh, Carol's here. I always know it's Carol because every time I see the sunflower, I'm thinking about Carol. And oh, there's Heather. So today I wanted to talk to everybody about living in isolation. We're all living in isolation worldwide. And so how are you doing with that? How's everybody feeling about it? Now, you know, those of us with severe lung issues like COPD or anything that we have that's severe. Hi, Shirley. Hi, Carol. Hi, Heather. We are used to living like this because we live like this most of the time, right? We kind of isolate ourselves, stay a little away from everybody. We don't associate with people who have colds or sicknesses. We don't socialize in large crowds. We stay away from things like weddings and large gatherings of people. And even if we do have to attend, hi Natalie. We're keeping our distance from everybody. So we're very, very careful. And I think this is why, and one of the good points is this, of all the people that we have found out that are sick or have the coronavirus, we haven't really heard of a big influx of people with chronic illnesses actually contacting coronavirus. And I think that's because we have been taught over the years how many times to stay away from people. Don't go near people, don't shake hands. And I think that some of the things that they're coming up with now. So some of the things that that they're coming up with now. Hi, Emily. Thanks for joining today. Hi, Sandra. Is, you know, to elbow bump instead of actually shaking hands. And I'm a big handshaker. I always was a big handshaker, and I'm also a hugger. So this is really hard for us, right? But I learned very, very carefully. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Marion. I learned very, very carefully some time ago to stop touching people, right? I'm a very touchy-feely person. But I learned the hard way, you know, and a couple of times I ended up in a hospital with, hi, Evelyn, that's my sister there, with exacerbations that didn't need to happen, right? And so it's really, really hard for me. I want to hug everybody. I want to say how grateful I am. I want to say how thankful I am. And so it's really hard to, you know, to kind of hold back. And so we're all in isolation and we shouldn't be having visitors. And I understand that. But even in my house, there's 3 of us in my house. My son lives at home, my husband and myself. And we're even though we're in the house together and we've been together, you know, forever, we're still kind of keeping our distance from each other, right? So my son hasn't been out too much, but my husband's been out for groceries. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Judy. Thank you for joining us today. And so when he comes home for groceries, right, I make him go take a shower, wash your clothes. Don't touch anything. Don't move anything. Wash your hands. You know, make sure that everything's good. So basically, we're trying to stay away from each other, and that might be a really good thing for most of us to do. I am urging you to get a hold of your local lung association. We have in our province of Ontario, Canada, we have the Ontario Lung Association, who is very, very reactive and proactive in taking care of us. So I'm going to have a conference call with them tomorrow because I'm a lung ambassador for them. And we're going to have a call tomorrow that I might have more information to pass along to you. So in the meantime, I'm urging you anybody who is feeling anxiety or anybody who is feeling, kind of alone or isolated in a bad way, get a hold of your local lung association, have a talk with them and see what they've got to offer you. And I would imagine that there is some things of value that they have to offer you. Hi, Patricia. Thanks for joining us today. Hi, Simone. So one of the things that I'm working on very closely, and this was one of the questions last week that we had talked about, was mouth breathers, right? I don't know if you're a mouth breather. I'm a mouth breather. And whenever I'm gasping for air, when I'm very, very short of breath, I'm always trying to get the air into my mouth because, that's the fastest way of getting it in. So we know that mouth breathing is not good for us and that we have to learn to do pursed lip breathing. And this is one of the first things that they will tell you at any lung association that we must practice. But this isn't something that comes overnight. This is something that we have to practice and practice and practice at. Hi, Diane. So I'm urging you to get a hold of your local lung association and see if they have any help for you, especially on things like dieting, nutrition, and keeping your thoughts positive. It's very, very, very important. So I was talking to somebody last week and I said, I think I'm going through the steps of grieving. First I was in denial and now I'm in anger. I'm really pissed off about this whole situation and how things have been, have gotten out of control so quickly. One of the things that I'm most concerned about, of course, is not being able to see my grandson, and I haven't seen him since March 17th. So it's getting close to a month, and my daughter is wonderful to us. She's so thoughtful. She puts him on FaceTime, once or twice a day, and so I absolutely love it. But you know what the problem is? He's getting so big. And I cannot comprehend how big he's getting. So I haven't been out of the house since March 4th. But I haven't seen my grandson since March 17th. So those are two things that I'm really pissed off about. And for all of us, right, our lives are on hold. That's right, Carol, our lives are on hold. Everything is kind of at a standstill, right? So, we're waiting for the other shoe to fall. We're waiting for the numbers to come down. We're waiting to see. And in Ontario, we had a nice kind of leveling off of the numbers. That doesn't mean that we've actually peaked, and it doesn't mean that we're on a downward slide. But we've kind of had a leveling off. So that's encouraging, right? So the 7 steps to grieving is denial, which I think we were all at the very beginning like, no, this can't happen. We're not going to do this. Anger, blame, depression, fear, and anxiety. So once again, if you're feeling these things, get in touch with your local lung association. They have information to offer you. They have counselors that will talk to you. They have respiratory therapists who can help you with your anxiety, and they are the experts in this, right? So really, I'm going to really, really urge you. Everybody has a lung association in their area. And I know that Canada is different than the US and, Europe and stuff like that. But I think if you look really close, even if you have to call the Cancer Society, they would still help you, right? Yeah, so I'm in anger right now, so I'm at the 2nd step, right? So today I wanted to talk a little bit about gratitude, because what else have we got to talk about when we're in this situation that we're in, right? And I don't know what your government is doing wherever you are. Hi, Norma. Thanks for joining us today. I don't know what your government's doing, but our government in Ontario and in Canada we're absolutely blessed because they're taking care of all of us. We're getting everybody is getting paid. Everybody is having some financial compensation. We are encouraged to stay home. We are actually the police are mandating that people are not in parks or recreational places, and that if you're caught, you're fined. So there was a family in Quebec last weekend that went to the park, and each of the parents got a $1,000 fine. So, that only has to happen once or twice, and people are going to get the idea that we need to stay home. And I'm urging anybody who has a lung issue or has been through chemotherapy, has any kind of a chronic illness, this is not the time for you to leave your house. And I don't care what your government says. I'm telling you that this is not a time to leave your house. They're saying that we can be walking around with the virus for 2 weeks before we come down with symptoms. And in those 2 weeks, we are infecting about 10 people a day with the virus. And so think about the enormity of that, right? It's phenomenal to think about it. So I'm hoping that everybody is staying home, and I know that it's not easy. It's not easy for me, even though I basically live like this myself most of the time, right? I know the grandchildren want to come and visit so bad, but you have to restrain yourself. So my daughter and son-in-law, have really you can't see the baby. We're not coming. It's for your health as well as ours. And about a week ago, my son-in-law came down with a fever. He was running a fever of about 104 and sore throat and dry cough. Then the baby got it, and he had some eye discharge. And we didn't think too much about it. But when she called the doctor for the baby, the doctor said, yes, this could very well be coronavirus, and so you have to really watch him. Now, the baby was fine with it, and he got over it, but now my daughter has it. And so, be very, very careful, because you don't know who is infecting you. And people mean the best. People absolutely mean the best. But when the doorbell rings, let people drop your packages. Don't go out to the door, to get your packages and stuff until people have left. So gratitude. Let's talk about gratitude, because what a great subject, I think, right? We have so much to be grateful for. We are grateful that we have good leaders in our country, that they're doing the things that they should be doing, and that they're urging us all to stay inside and to stay safe. They're ramping up ways of... Hi, Una. They're ramping up ways to get ventilators made. So car companies are jumping to the forefront to get ventilators made. They're making masks and gloves and dressing gowns for the frontline workers. Hi, Merlin. Thank you for joining us today. And so we're very, very grateful. In Ontario, we're actually going to bring manufacturing back to Ontario. Who knew that this could possibly ever happen? And we're going to stop being so dependent on the Chinese and the U.S. And I think that this is a good thing for all of us. Make what you need within your own country. Make your own stuff so that you're not depending so much on exports and so forth, because everybody needs this stuff, right? Hi, Christine. So gratitude means being thankful. It is a readiness to show appreciation and to return kindnesses that are given to you. When someone does something for you and you are not indebted to them, it means that you're grateful. And so gratitude goes a long way to change our emotions and the way that we feel. Gratitude allows us to acknowledge the goodness in our lives, to feel more positive emotions. And we all know that feeling positive gives us a better outlook on life. It allows us to relish good experiences and to improve our health and deal with anxiety. We will have less anxiety. Hi, Kat. Thank you for joining us. We will have less anxiety when we are feeling grateful, when we know what to be grateful for, and when we can, hi, Anne, when we can acknowledge it. Anger makes us feel tight in the chest, and it leaves us short of breath. So, anger is something that's going to exacerbate our our symptoms and the way that we feel. Gratitude feels like warmth of the body, and it's being grounded slowly. It gives you a slowness of breath. Sorry, excuse me. And sometimes it leads to uncontrolled crying. Sometimes people are so good to us that we don't really understand why or how it could happen or how we could be so lucky. And so this could bring on uncontrolled crying. It's a release of the emotions that you're holding in, right? As an emotion, gratitude is a feeling of contentment, happiness, and appreciation. Finding one thing to be grateful for leads to another and another. Hi, Karen. Hi, Linda. Thank you for joining us today. Every day I'm urging you to set aside time to make a list of what you're grateful for. And it can be done on little sticky notes. It can be done on pieces of paper. But I would suggest that it's done in a journal. Because I'm a big journaler, right? I journal every single day. I've always got something to journal, and I always know where I am and what I'm looking back at. So set aside time every day to make a list of what you're grateful for. Start with the tiniest details and write just one thing. We write it down so that we can revisit it on our really, really low days. This is the whole idea of having a journal and being able to look back at it, right? So, for me, the days that are really rainy and cold are really the worst days. Those are the days when I'm going to get the least amount of visitors. Those are the days when I'm going to have a harder time breathing, and I'm going to be more short of breath. So for those days when I look back, when I write about these days in my journal, I am grateful that at least I have learned that this is nothing that's going to be horrible, and I know that it is going to get better as soon as the rain leaves and things dry up. I know that I'm going to be better. And how do I know that? And how can I be grateful for that? Because I wrote it in my journal the last time it happened. And so how we predict the future is by looking at the past. And this is an accounting concept that I used to teach my students all the time. Kat can tell you that. We predict the future by looking at the past. If we don't have past to look at, then we can't remember what happened, right? Say thank you for the smallest kindness. Don't allow negativity like COVID-19 to influence your inner peace. This is something that we have to go through, and this is something that that will be over. This won't last forever. So some of the things that we can be grateful for COVID-19 for: the waters are running clear again. There's no pollution. Gas prices are good. And we all have time now to sit and smell the roses. And if you're not doing that at this time, then you're missing a fabulous opportunity, right? Because when in your life have you ever had a chance to sit by yourself, with yourself, and actually find your inner peace? This is an excellent opportunity that the world should be looking at and that we should all be embracing. Look for the best in everyone and believe and speak well of them. Without doing that, we leave ourselves open to be, somebody that natters all the time. We don't want that, right? So find the best in everyone. Oh, that's fabulous, Vicky. And yeah, families are spending time with each other, although I can't be with my daughter and my son-in-law and my grandson or my other son and his wife. We talk quite frequently. They're there to make sure that I'm okay. And I'm there to make sure that they don't need anything. Do you need anything? Because I can provide it, right? Anger and disappointment and failure and frustration are part of life. And this is part of the COVID-19 that we're experiencing right now. You know, this is a disappointment, and this is something that you know, we as mankind have failed at. But don't be a victim. Don't let these things influence your inner peace. Choosing to live a life of gratitude will bring you peace. And in this point in our lives where we are, I think that most of us are seniors or embarking on it. You know, when I say seniors, I'm talking about 55 and over. And for most of us seniors, like, we worked so hard all our lives. Most of us started working when we were 12 or 14. I know I did. And so we worked so hard all our lives, and it was always just a go, 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 go. Take this time. Hi, Gwen. Thanks for joining today. Take this time to choose to live a peaceful gratitude life that brings you, you know, some inner peace, something that, you know, you can really sit and smell the roses. And this is one of the reasons why I'm growing all my plants. I started growing them for my grandson, right? But now, you know, there's something that I'm so happy that I did, because it keeps me going. It's something to get up in the morning. You know, I've got to go look at my plants and see how big they got overnight and that sort of thing, right? And I've been posting them on, and everybody's telling me, like, they look absolutely gorgeous. After I'm done this tea time, I'm going to send you a picture of my tomatoes. You won't believe how big they are. So live a life of peace. Build gratitude around you with small, daily, unexpected acts of love, compassion, grace, and forgiveness. There's no point in holding in anger. You might as well just let it go. Just let it go. What is the danger of just letting it go? Because when you hold in anger, it hurts you, not the other person. Nothing happens to the other person. He doesn't really care. And so you must let go of the anger, and you must let, you know, the universe or the karma or whoever it is that you believe in. So tips for keeping a good gratitude journal. Don't just go through the motions. Be motivated to be happier. We all have had to change our lifestyle, and I get that, because, you know, I had to give up my job and my livelihood, my income, my independence. But you have to be motivated to be happier. You have to be motivated to live a happier life. And you can do this. Everybody can do this. You can do it as you choose. Elaborating in details carries more benefit. So when you write something that you're grateful for, you know, oh, there's my sister-in-law, Susan Hatcher, and it is her birthday today. Happy birthday, Susan. When you elaborate about something that you're grateful for, so, you know, you're grateful for your son. Why are you grateful for your son? What did he do? And write it down and be a little bit more elaborate, right? It carries more benefit. And it's also something that you can look back at in the future and say, holy cow, you know what? I'm really mad at him today, but look at all these things that he did for me that gave me moments of gratitude, right? So, you know, it's sometimes looking back on it, looking back over it, you know, it really helps. Get personal and focus on people instead of things. Things don't make you happy. People make you happy. Be grateful for people. And don't just add, reflect on what life would be without this blessing. And we all know that, I think we all know, because we've all been through this, and because of our chronic illness journey, we're a little more in tune to what life would be without one or two people, right? And so record events that are surprises to give you a greater wealth and level of gratitude. Don't overdo it. Write once or twice a week. I know every day we're all very happy to get up in the daytime, right? We're all very happy that you know, we open our eyes in the morning and we go, holy crap, I made another night, right? But you don't have to do it every day. But look for things to write about or think about, or look for opportunities. This is about forcing yourself to look at the good things in life that we would otherwise be taking for granted. So I hope that you will consider at this time doing a journal, because think about the us being in isolation, and this is going to be going in the history books. Our children and grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren will be reading about this for years and years to come. If they had your own journal as a legacy left behind when you leave, they would have something to be able to read through, just like they did, just like we do through war stories and things like that, right? To find out how it really was. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Susan. I really appreciate that. It means a lot coming from you. So I hope everybody stays safe. I hope everybody stays isolated. No matter what your government is telling you, please, please, please stay in isolation. Don't be complacent and think that you can go out and do whatever you want to do, because we're not invincible, right? And that goes for anybody with a chronic illness, or anybody who has been through cancer therapy, anybody who has anything that will compromise their immune system. If you are here today, I would really appreciate you putting a hi in the notes or in the comments. Otherwise, I won't know that you're here. It'll show up here that I have this many people, but if you don't put a comment in, I won't know you're here. This is Barbara Moore for Catch Your Breath 60, and I hope you enjoyed this talk today. I am available for anybody at catchyourbreath60@gmail.com, and you can text me or write to me anytime. And I think anybody who has in the past could tell you that I'm very, very responsive. Have a great week, everybody. God willing, we will all be here next week. Thank you.